This week on Great British Menu, 3 of Scotland's most exciting chefs.
You did say modern chef?
Yep.
Adam Handling, the youngest chef in the kitchen.
Don't like whiskey.
Are you Scottish?
Michael Bremner, who's not afraid to take risks.
It's anyone's game, really.
And Ali McGrath, who's putting bold flavours first.
It's all very tense.
In the year the nation marked the Queen's 90th birthday, the chefs will be celebrating the everyday Great Britons honoured throughout her reign and competing for a chance to cook at a banquet at the historic Palace of Westminster. The chef's main courses left Daniel underwhelmed. He scored all 3 a disappointing 7.
Today's been tough.
Adam and Michael remain joint top of the leaderboard, with Ali just 2 points behind. The dessert course is their final chance to impress. The competition is still wide open.
You look like you're playing.
I am.
But one chef will be going home today.
One little mistake. Wow.
Could be catastrophic. This is going to put him through. One of us is going.
The chefs are competing to create dishes that are a fitting legacy to our modern Elizabethan age and a celebration of the complete transformation of British cuisine during the Queen's historic reign. Judging these dishes for inventive and contemporary cooking is veteran Daniel Clifford. Having made it to the banquet with a dessert, he knows what it takes.
I'm looking for brilliant cooking for people that have been honoured by the Queen. I've got high expectations, and I'm expecting Scotland to deliver.
This is it, guys. It's the last chance to impress Daniel. I'm feeling good. This is one of my strongest courses.
I'm slightly disappointed with my 7 from yesterday, so I'm desperate for a big score today. There's one person going home, and, you know, it's not going to be me.
First up is Adam. He's topped the leaderboard all week, but as yet has not scored maximum points. Veteran Daniel has been concerned about his interpretation of the brief.
I definitely will be throwing everything at this dessert. I just hope that the message comes along. That's the thing that I've seemed to have struggled the entire week.
That's good to see a smile. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I love this course. This one hits the brief.
Brilliant. That's what you need to do.
The dish is called Raise Your Glass, and it's about saying thank you to all the Great Britons that will be at the banquet. You know, you raise your glass, you have a sip, you say thanks.
Perfect. And we're going to use whiskey for that?
Yes. I'm going to do the flavours that I love as a child and elevate that with whiskey.
So what is that?
Lemon meringue pie.
I love a lemon meringue pie.
Fantastic, that's great to hear. But I'm not using lemons. The main curd will be done with yuzu. This is from Japan. They juice it when it's at its best, and then they freeze it. It has a lot more floral notes, and it'll work really well with the whiskey.
OK. And with the white chocolate, what's your plans for that?
I'm going to aerate it. It's going to have little bubbles that all pop and melt in your mouth. With the whiskey, I'm going to do a frozen granita.
OK.
I'm going to make a salted peanut shortbread, then smash it all up.
Right, so you're going to put a lot of love into it and then smash it up?
Yes.
This is going to be a completely different style for your food.
Yes.
Brilliant. I can't wait. Adam's dish, he's turning a lemon meringue pie upside down. This is not the way that he normally cooks. I just hope it works for him.
Next up is Michael. After a slow start to the week, his fish dish scored a perfect 10, but his main course failed to impress. He needs a high score to secure a place in Friday's head-to-head.
I'm disappointed by my 7 from my main course, but it's made me even more determined to get a good score for my dessert.
Hello.
Hi, Chef, you all right?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good, yep. Recovered?
Yes, I'm back in for the dessert.
Take me through your box, Michael. Explain to me where the passions come from.
I've called this dish Home Sweet Home. If someone was to ask me what I remember about my childhood when I was growing up, one would be a chocolate tea cake, and then one would also be a Mackie's ice cream.
OK.
And Maitland Mackie comes from where I come from. In Scotland, he had a MBE, and then they also got a CBE.
OK.
I'm going to do a whiskey mac ice cream, which is basically the whiskey, ginger wine, burnt orange. I'm making a salted caramel mousse, and I'm also going to make a whiskey mac jelly to spray over the top of it.
Over the top of the ice cream?
Yeah. So you're going to get an intensified initial whiskey taste.
Okay.
I'm taking another classic Scottish thing, shortbread, and then with the influence of a tea cake, I'm making like a marshmallow chocolate shortbread sandwich.
You're both on level points. It's really, really close. Is desserts your strong point?
Yeah, I trained as a pastry chef when I started.
Adam?
Pastry is one of my strong points as well, so I'm looking forward to who has that little edge.
Michael's making ice cream with whiskey. The alcohol content is so strong, it might not freeze. This could be the dessert that sends him home.
Last up is Ali. He struggled to plate the modern, refined dishes veteran Daniel is looking for. He may be trailing by 2 points, but he isn't giving up.
I am feeling more confident today because I think I'm in with a chance. Right? We're all in with a chance. Anything can happen.
Hiya, Chef. How are you?
Very well.
2 points behind. Are you going to be cooking tomorrow?
Yes, Chef. That's why we're here, isn't it?
That's what I want to hear.
The inspiration for this one, we've based it on Scotland's highest award, the Order of the Thistle.
Okay. So should we put a thistle in the... There you go.
Thank you, Chef. That's very kind.
So,
We've based the dish on the colours of the thistle, the green and the sort of purples. I'm going to make a cherry sorbet,
yep.
pistachio and yoghurt mousse, some aerated chocolate.
Adam's doing aerated chocolate as well.
Such a copycat.
Yes.
Going to make a pistachio sponge,
Okay.
and then I'm going to temper some chocolate, which I'm quite nervous about. We're very lucky in my hometown. We've got a world-class chocolatier,
Yep.
and she very kindly took, I'm not joking, 10 minutes to show me how to do it.
So, a 10-minute crash course.
Yeah, this is totally different from what I've done so far. It's got really modern techniques, something that I've been lacking from other courses.
Should they be worried?
Yes.
I think he's gritting his teeth on this one. He's come out... look at him, look at him. He's charged. This guy, he means business. I'm really excited about this. Ali's promised me he's modernising his food. He's come out the dark ages and he's going to give me a showstopper.
Cooking starts, and the chefs are discussing the risks they're taking with their desserts.
So how are we feeling, guys?
Could be the last time in the kitchen.
Anything you're worried about in your dish?
Yeah, my curd setting, chocolate setting, my raspberry setting.
Everything then. My ice cream, it's quite high in alcohol. It might not set. If that's the case, I'm going home.
So, Ali, what's your risk?
Similar. I've got a sorbet to do.
Yeah?
I've got my mousse setting.
Ali is all too aware that he has to score more highly than his competitors today. He's hoping to impress with a technically demanding aerated dark chocolate.
Ali is obviously pushing himself because he's doing some chocolate work, so, you know, respect for that.
Ali's whipped melted chocolate with pistachio oil in a charger to make it light and airy. Now in a container, he pumps out all the air so the tiny bubbles inside the chocolate expand.
You look like you're praying.
I'm going to have to do this again.
He has to make sure all the air is pumped out. Without a vacuum, the bubbles in the chocolate will collapse before it sets.
Fingers crossed. It's all very tense. One little mistake could be catastrophic.
Adam is also making aerated white chocolate for his unusual reinvention of the classic lemon meringue pie. But his different technique is proving problematic.
Wow, sorry. That was me. At least it's aerated.
I think he's panicking. I think he's made a mistake,
Mistake.
and I think that he's hiding it with his cool exterior.
Shall we just see if it's the best aerated chocolate you've seen yet? Because the bubbles are fantastic.
Keeping his cool, Adam moves on to his milk and whiskey granita. He used dry ice for his fish course, which scored an 8, and hopes it'll impress Daniel again today.
So explain to me, Chef, what's the liquid nitrogen doing?
It's basically just freezing it really, really, really quickly, making sure there are 0 ice crystals and melts cleanly in the mouth.
Will this mask the flavour of the alcohol?
No, quite the opposite.
Intensify it?
Quite the opposite, yeah.
OK. So it's quite exciting.
This is modern cooking at its best.
You did say modern, chef.
Yep.
Michael's also using whiskey in his dessert, a grown-up take on childhood favourites, jelly and ice cream and chocolate tea cakes.
Everybody likes a nice little dram after their dinner.
Don't like whiskey.
Are you Scottish?
You don't like whiskey?
I want to see your
You're
passport.
not going to like my dish then.
Michael's making a whiskey and ginger wine jelly, inspired by the ingredients of a whiskey mac cocktail, and also a whiskey mac ice cream.
I'm infusing the whiskey with ginger.
Will boiling the whiskey take the alcohol content away?
Yeah, I'll take the alcohol content away, but I'll keep the
So
flavour.
so it's going to have a lot of kick.
It's not overpowering. I've made a burnt orange brown rosette.
Yep.
I'm going to pour into it as well. So it gives it a bit of an orange flavour.
You're joint leader.
Yeah.
You need a high score today.
I know.
I can't express how this needs to be right.
It will be.
Michael has fond childhood memories of Mackie's ice cream, made just a few miles from where he grew up in Aberdeenshire. Michael's been inspired by late owner Maitland Mackie. Today he's meeting Maitland's daughter Karen, who helps run the family business.
Dad was born here, grew up here, spent his whole working life here, and involved and engaged in lots of other things, agriculture, education.
Was he a whiskey man?
He was certainly a whiskey
Was
man.
he? I'm making a whiskey mac ice cream. Do you think he'd be a fan of that?
He would, he'd absolutely. I think he'd probably encourage you to take a generous measure of whiskey with or alongside the ice cream.
The Mackie business was originally a dairy farm, but it was innovative Maitland who diversified into ice cream. He was honoured by the Queen for his services to agriculture.
And there he is. CVE.
He was ahead of his time and a pioneer of sustainable energy, building wind turbines and trying to persuade other farmers to do the same. As son Mac explains.
Dad, was a larger-than-life character. He's always keen to try new things, so this place was never going to just stay like a normal farm. Green energy for the last sort of 5-10 years maybe of his life, that was his big focus.
Maitland's vision has left behind far more than just ice cream.
4 wind turbines now on top of the hill, Scotland's largest solar farm, so that's quite a big legacy, really.
It's amazing.
In the kitchen, Michael's made his chocolate ganache and has moved on to the salted caramel mousse. He knows he needs a good score for his grown-up take on jelly and ice cream with a chocolate tea cake.
I think they're both a big threat in this course. Adam's doing something quite innovative and different. Ali's taking up a level.
Like Adam, Michael's also preparing Scottish shortbread.
Has yours got cornflour in it?
No.
It's quite an old-fashioned recipe.
Yeah, well, I can crack so many old jokes at that. I won't, because it's the end course, so I'm going to go out nicely.
Yeah, refrain.
Adam's using another different ingredient to Michael, peanuts. And he's opting to serve his shortbread as a crumb rather than a classic biscuit.
Adam, how are you getting on?
A little bit busy. A lot of things to make sure I do right.
Adam's also replacing lemon with yuzu, a Japanese citrus fruit, in his reimagined lemon meringue pie, hoping it will make it banquet-worthy. It's a risk after he was criticised for his Asian-influenced main course. Sitting 2 points behind the joint leaders, Ali's determined to plate a winner with his dessert, inspired by Scotland's highest honour, the Order of the Thistle. He's made a pistachio sponge and cherry sorbet to match the colours of a thistle. Ali can't afford any slip-ups. But he's having problems tempering his white chocolate, a technique he only learned for the competition.
Ali was praying to the chocolate gods earlier. I think he might need it.
Ali's overheated the chocolate and has to start again. Tempering chocolate requires precision heating and cooling to achieve a shiny, crisp finish.
What are we up to?
Tempering chocolate, chef.
OK.
It's beginning to go. Just going to do it in little bursts, just to get it to temperature. Fingers crossed this one doesn't go to 50 degrees.
I'm going to leave you alone because I don't want to get in your way.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Adam is first to plate up his Scottish Asian twist on a lemon meringue pie, hoping it'll score him top marks. He pipes meringue onto the plate and toasts with a blowtorch. The curd using Asian yuzu instead of lemon is next, with raspberry sauce hidden inside. It's a deconstructed pie. The aim is to modernise the dish in keeping with the brief.
Adam, last dish up from you. Are you ready?
Almost, chef, almost.
Next are pieces of his salvaged aerated white chocolate.
Is that how you want it? It's very airy, like you said.
Aerated chocolate, chef.
Adam crumbles the peanut butter shortbread and covers the yuzu curd. He garnishes with confit lemon peel and lemon verbena. Liquid nitrogen whiskey granita completes the dessert. Adam's serving the dishes in miniature whiskey barrels.
Well, happy?
Very happy.
So what's the name of the dish?
Raise your glass.
Shall we pour ourselves a glass?
Yeah? One for me, one for you.
Thank you.
Big boys, you just can do it yourself.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
So take the lid off.
Yep. Wow.
This is the aerated white chocolate.
Yep.
I like it. It's clean, it's fresh, it's light.
The milk and whiskey granita on the top, I didn't taste any of that.
Texture meringue, you happy with that?
I think it's lovely.
The peanut shortbread.
Yep.
I like his peanut shortbread. It's quite peanut buttery. And the raspberry's really nice.
So basically now I've got everything on the spoon.
That's how I wanted it.
Is the yuzu adding enough acidity?
Yes, I think so.
Altogether, it's quite sweet, but I'm not sure where that's coming from.
Has it got a wee message?
Here's a toast to the amazing, inspirational people.
You made Britain great. Adam,
Cheers.
cheers to that.
I can see this part of the brief.
Yeah.
I understand that part, but I'm not sure what that's got to do with that.
What would you change?
Not a thing.
So basically, if you're not going to change anything, the score must be...
A 10.
How'd that go for you, chef?
Couldn't have went any better. I was
for you.
1,000,000,000% happy with that.
Good.
Michael is next to plate up his home sweet home dessert, inspired by two favourite puddings from his childhood. He fixes slabs of shortbread on a board.
You want a hand with anything?
I'm all right, actually, mate. Thank you.
You want a glass of whiskey?
I would love one.
Sticks of chocolate ganache are covered in meringue to represent the flavours of Michael's favourite Scottish tea cakes. On a side plate, he pipes salted caramel mousse. Whiskey Mac ice cream is covered in a whiskey gel, an innovative take on jelly and ice cream, and served on top of the mousse.
So this is my home sweet home.
Okay. They've both got two very good-looking desserts. I'm worried. I really needed them to slip up somewhere.
Let's go and enjoy it.
You pan this on, like a bonfire effect, and then you toast your own marshmallow.
So we sandwich it together.
Sandwich it.
We pull it out.
Is that what you wanted?
I don't know, what do you do? Pour it on or eat a spoon of it?
The shortbread, chef. Is that cooked enough?
It's a fraction thick.
It's a bit
Big time.
cloyy. It's quite messy.
It is very messy.
The whiskey ice cream?
Yeah,
Is there
just-
enough whiskey in there?
You can definitely taste it.
The caramel mousse.
I think it's delicious. The salt caramel is spot on. It's perfect.
The gel on top, has that got a place on it?
I was trying to maximise how much whiskey you could taste in it.
For me, I would put more whiskey in there.
Is this a dessert for the banquet?
I think if I refined it, it's not exactly how I would want it.
This might open the door for me.
I think it has.
Last to fight for his place in the judging chamber is Ali. His dish is inspired by Scotland's highest honour, the Order of the Thistle. He painstakingly removes the backing from the edible transfers, set on his successfully tempered chocolate.
That looks great. Really good.
But the nerves set in when he tries to cut out the medals.
Right. Come on, Al.
You can do it. What's that?
I don't think he liked it, to be honest. I might have missed this one.
Pistachio mousse and pistachio sponge are first into Ali's bowls.
Next year.
No. It's not over until he says.
Then cherry sorbet.
I love the thistles.
Thank you. Here's one that's not the best bit of the plate.
He dots cherry syrup into the bowls and onto his aerated dark chocolate. Freeze-dried sour cherries, pistachios and pink pralines provide a garnish. And finally, the chocolate Order of the Thistle medals.
How are you feeling?
Good, chef. I'm happy.
Let's go and taste it, shall we?
Yes, chef.
It's that patriotic. I feel like William Morris is just going to poke his little sword out and start running out there. It looks fantastic.
Clearly, your tempering chocolate worked.
It did.
Still crisp.
It's come out great. Considering you got a crash course in it.
I love the pistachio sponge. The texture of it is 100% correct. It's great.
Yeah.
Pistachio sponge. Is the flavour intense enough?
Yes, chef.
That's the cherry sorbet.
That's
yeah?
the cherry sorbet.
Is that meant to be a bitter cherry?
Slightly better. There's sweetness with the pistachio mousse.
The consistency of the mousse is great. It's very airy.
The aerated chocolate. Is it light enough?
Yeah, I think it's light enough.
When I eat an aerated chocolate, I like it to crumble into lots of pieces because of all the air bubbles.
We're going to score it.
At least a 9.
I think this is extremely modern. This is going to put him through. One of us is going.
Looks that way.
There he is. Well done.
That was a great dish.
I think you smashed it.
Made me feel great to be Scottish.
It's very kind of you both. Can't do any more, guys. It's all done.
I think if I get told that I'm going home, I'll be so gutted.
I'm worried 'cause I'm 2 points behind.
I think I'm going to get a really low score here.
Good evening.
Evening, chef.
Tough day.
Tough day.
How you feeling?
Nervous.
Very, very nervous.
Adam, I'm going to start with you and raise your glass. The presentation in the cask, it was really well executed.
Thank you.
You struggled a bit with the interpretation of the brief, but I really like the idea behind this dessert. And your Asian influence with the yuzu, well done, it worked.
Thank you.
But you've got punnets of beautiful raspberries, and I can't see them on the presentation. Scatter a few of those over the top, and the colour will just show that dish to a different level. I think you need to sharpen the whole dish up because it's very sweet. Michael, for your dish, Home Sweet Home, I found the presentation a lot of fun and it evoked childhood memories. However, I thought the shortbread needed more cooking. For me, a good shortbread, slightly sandy, that texture in your mouth. The whiskey ice cream, I think the whiskey needs to be more prominent. I don't think this is your dish of the week, Michael. Ali, for your dish, I thought the aerated chocolate was too heavy. It needed more bubbles. The pistachio sponge, really tasted the pistachio, but it didn't have the crisp texture that I was expecting. However, I really like the idea, and I think you've done Scotland proud by honouring their highest honour. Tempering chocolate, and you've pulled it off. The cherry sorbet, the sourness of the cherries worked really well and gave the dish great balance. With a few tweaks, this is your strongest dish. So, one of you is going to leave today with a score of 8, giving them the highest score of the week. Adam, you're cooking tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Michael, going into desserts, you had a 2-point lead over Ali. Michael, I'm giving you a score of 6. Ali? I'm giving you a score of 8. This leaves both of you tied on a score of 29 points, but only one of you can go through to the judges. Michael, you've taken risks this week, and some of them have really paid off. That fish dish, I think it's one of the best dishes I've ever tasted. You're cooking for the judges tomorrow.
Thanks, man.
Ali, you should be really proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow. Be ready for it, but enjoy it.
Well done. Oh, man. I'm gutted. I thought I may have scraped it with the dessert, but sadly, it's not going to happen.
That was pretty scary.
That was scary. I thought I was in.
Good luck tomorrow, gents.
I'm ecstatic for getting the highest marks and then going into the judging chamber. It makes me feel a lot more confident going in there.
That was the hardest thing I've ever had to witness. You know what? I think we've done Scotland proud, definitely.
For sure.
I'm absolutely over the moon. I need to make a few adjustments and changes to my dishes, but you know, with a few tweaks, I think I can go all the way.